Hello guys, in today's episode I'm gonna go through this deck with you. So it was actually a Twitch request that someone requested me, Corgan requested me to play this deck. And then surprisingly, it actually works pretty well on ladder, and I pushed to #1 local leaderboard as well as top 1000 ladder with this deck. So we're gonna go through a few replays and we'll see you there guys. Okay, the first replay that I will share would be against 2.6. So just by looking at this deck, we have good defense for the Hawk Rider, right? We have Tornado, we have a Bomb Tower, so it looks like we should be pretty good. Which actually is. I believe this is more like a hard counter to 2.6, so if you guys really hate 2.6, I recommend using this deck. The cycle can be a bit awkward, so you see I put all the cycle cards that are awkward at the top, so if you have like a starting hand with Lightning Graveyard, NATO and Bomb Tower, then it could be a bit awkward, but it's perfectly okay to actually cycle your Bomb Tower in the middle if you really have to, because it's just like a cage or a Tesla in the middle. It protects either side if possible. You have a NATO as well, so that's also pretty okay. So I played the Baby D at the start. He didn't play anything. I thought he was gonna do something funny or he was gonna disconnect, but yeah, he just waited. So over here we got good damage off the first graveyard, and that's a Hawk Rider. The NATO was a bit slow and in the wrong position. If not, it should have been able to deny the Hawk perfectly. So it goes Ice Golem at the bridge, which is pretty weird, so I'll just let it go. And then we just cycle in the back. So most probably already know it's playing 2.6, even though we didn't see the Musketeer. But the Firewall comes in, alright, so basically we know, against 2.6 you just have to Lightning the Musketeer. The one thing about this deck is, the moment you Lightning the Tower as well as the Musketeer or any other troops, the Graveyard, the Princess Tower actually retargets, right? So you gotta be careful to see when you want to Lightning. Because in this deck you don't really have small troops, so with the NATO, right, most probably if you're meeting a lot of, because you don't have poison in this deck, if you're meeting like Goblin Gang or Bats and stuff, that's when the NATO comes in. The Baby D NATO helps to clear the small stuff, and the Lightning helps to take care of the big troops. So over here we decided to go in with the Graveyard. The Lightning might have been another possible option on the Musketeer, but we can see that the Graveyard actually does a little bit of damage only. So now we have to handle the Musketeer as well as anticipate the Hawk. So of course the Bomb Tower goes in the middle, and then we take care of the Musketeer. So with the King Tower activated, this is a pretty good defense. We don't really take the Hawk hit. So basically we're in control of this game. We know we just need to get in double Elixir. When we have the Elixir, we just gonna need to get off a Graveyard tank, and then we get the Lightning on the Musketeer. So that, and the defense is gonna be okay against Hawk Riders. Because we have the Bomb Tower, we have the Tornado, King Tower is activated. We might take a hit here and there if he goes with like an Ice Golem Hawk, but that's gonna be fine. So unfortunately we took a hit over there. Again, the NATO was not in the best spot, but now we can see we have the Baby D for tank. We have the cannon card there as well. He goes with the log, and then we're ready with the Lightning, right? So at this point there, the Lightning on the Musketeer, we do massive damage on the tower from lightning damage as well as the Graveyard. So basically that's almost within a spell cycle range. So over here this time we put the Bomb Tower, we don't take any Hawk hits anymore, and basically that's it. Hard counter to 2.6. So if you guys hate 2.6, use the stack, man. Okay, so that just basic defense over here. We're just gonna go with a Graveyard, I believe, at the end, and then that should take tower. We're not really too concerned. The Hawk's not gonna kill us. Lightning Tornado might even do it. I'm not sure because of the new nerf, but he gives up. So that's it. We'll see you guys in the next game. Yeah, he's pretty angry, guys. Okay, so the second replay that I will share would be against this Royal Giant Royal Recruits deck. So Royal Recruits are pretty much everywhere in the early season because of the slight buff. Everybody's trying it out. So let's see how we handle this. Okay, the starting hand could look like a little awkward, right? Because we have the Bob Barrel, and then if you cycle it, the next one's a Baby D. If he doesn't cycle, then you're also gonna have to cycle the Baby D. So we wait for a bit here. He decides to go with the Firecracker. So I'm not gonna use the Bob Barrel. So I will use the Bomb Tower in the middle as a cycle card. And that way we get the King Tower activation. We don't know what he's playing yet, right? So if he's playing like Expo, it doesn't make a difference, or even Royal Giant, it doesn't make too much of a difference. But then we see the Skelly Barrel, so that's when we use our Bob Barrel for that. So now we're pretty okay. We know that he might be playing some form of a bait deck, because we haven't seen the RG yet. So we use this against the Prince, but now we see the RG on the opposite lane. The bad thing is we don't have our Bomb Tower. So Baby D alone is not good enough DPS, so we have to add in the Hunter as well. And finally we take the 1000 damage, but that's the best we could have done. But now we know that he has a Royal Giant, so that's the main thing. When your opponent has a tank, you most probably need your Bomb Tower. You want to save your Bomb Tower for that. Of course, Hunter, Cannon card alone is good DPS. So we have the bomb tower here. We could have played it for this barrel, but we decided not to because I need to save it for the RG. Hunter, NATO also can defend the RG pretty well, but the bomb tower would be ideal. But you can see that he has an Earthquake in hand as well, so if they have an Earthquake, you might want to place it high, but of course we don't know that yet because he hasn't used the Earthquake yet. Okay, so now we save our cannon for the Prince because almost anything else dies pretty quickly to the Prince. So now we have our bomb tower for the RG, that's what we're doing. So we're saving it. We play the Hunter as well, the Earthquake comes in, so thankfully we played the Hunter early and we don't take any Royal Giant hits. But now on both sides we take an equal damage. So he has a good defense for the graveyard, I would say, because he has bats, and that's gonna force out a NATO from us. He has a Hunter, Firecracker, and Recruits as well. Okay, so basically we're just waiting for double elixir for our chance because he's giving us a lot of pressure in this early game. So over here we go Baby D Graveyard because I know I can defend with the Barb Barrel. He goes Hunter high, but he still takes a lot of damage because Firecracker is not good against the graveyard. You can see over here it takes about at least 1000 damage here. We take the Hunter shot, that's not a big deal. Okay, so now we still have a Firecracker to deal with, so we go with the early Bomb Tower because we expected the RG to come in, but it did not come in, so unfortunately we don't have our building for his next RG if he decides to go. So he goes with the Scully Barrel, but luckily the cannon card dies in time. So now we see we don't have the building, so we have to go with the Hunter. Thankfully he played his bad, so the NATO gets a bit more value. But we're definitely only going to focus on the left side because we did a lot of damage there. Here comes our graveyard of our own. We have the Lightning here if we choose to use it, but I know I have to defend this Prince, so I can't go with the Lightning. So we decide to defend. The Hunter again, pretty decent on the graveyard, so we most probably only did like 300 damage. But now we more or less know what he's playing. Here comes the Recruit. So this one we have a good splash, I would say. We have decent splash in this deck. So Recruits not really the problem. We have Bomb Tower, Hunters, Baby Ds. We can handle both sides without too much elixir loss. So we go with the early Naked Graveyard, I would say. Then we go with the NATO on the bats, as I mentioned earlier in the video. When they have small stuff, you gotta use the NATO because the Lightning doesn't do too much against that. And we can see here we're pressuring pretty well. His tower is much lesser than mine, and we're pretty okay. So we just have to save the bomb tower and then get quick DPS on the RG to deny it, as well as going with Naked Graveyards if we can. Because if he defends with the Hunter, we're going with the Lightning. If he defends with the Bats, we're going with the Tornado. So we just gotta keep an eye out on both sides because now he's going like pressure both lanes. So we go with the Lightning here, catching him out by surprise because we haven't used it the entire game. So 92 HP, it's gonna be another Graveyard or another Lightning Cycle, and then we just have to defend. We know it's gonna go all in, so we go with the Bomb Tower. You could go with the Bomb Tower high to deny the Earthquake. But considering my towers are pretty healthy, I know I don't have to do that. So again, Cannon Card gets the lock, and then that's it. So I'll see you guys in the last replay. So the last replay that I will share will be against, I believe this is a Japanese guy, Wataporon. So he's playing a bait deck with Dart Goblin. So it may seem like it's a hard matchup for a Graveyard player against a Dart Goblin player, but surprisingly, it's gonna be a pretty clean game, I say. This guy's a pretty good player. I think he went quite far in the No-2 Championships, the bracket. I think he went on to the later stages. He didn't make the top 4, but... or he made the top 4 maybe in one of those days, I'm not too sure. So over here he goes with the Scully Barrel. The early activation definitely helped us a lot here. Okay, so what people are saying with this deck is because, I don't know, it's just weird, right? Nobody plays Lightning Graveyard, so maybe Supercell doesn't know what kind of matchups to give you. So they think Graveyard, they give you like a Dart Goblin as a counter, but who knows you're playing Lightning, man? And then you have a Bomb Tower, you have Tornado, you have Barrel, you have pretty good defense against all his small stuff. We have a Baby D for splash as well, so it looks like we're pretty all set. We take a bit of chip damage here and there throughout this entire game, but again, we're always trying to go with the Graveyard, and if he's using small stuff like Skellies, we can try to NATO it. If in double elixir, when we have the chance, we can go with the Lightning, and try to get some Lightning value. If he plays his Dart Goblin, or he plays his Princess together, 6 elixir Lightning for both of them, and the Princess Tower, that's not too bad. So we messed up with the Bomb Tower here because of our misjudgment or slow reaction, but that's fine. Okay, so at the start we're a little bit down, but as we go on in double elixir, you guys can see the defense is gonna be pretty okay against all his stuff. And it's very important against bait decks to activate the King Tower, whether it's from the Skelly Barrel or the Goblin Barrel. The King Tower activation is gonna help out so much. Okay, so we took even damage on both sides, and that's pretty okay. We go with cannon gun in the back because we know that with this deck you don't really have the rocket. This is the cycle deck, and they don't really have a big spell, so we can perfectly cycle our troops in the back. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If we can get the lightning value, take it, because he's not gonna expect the lightning from your graveyard deck. Over here, bomb tower is gonna defend us pretty okay. Now with NATO the princesses, it's a 3-for-3 trade, so not a problem. We don't have to save it for other stuff. Here comes the barrel. We have a hunter as well, so look at that. We have a good splash everywhere. So whether it's barrels, whatever barrels, it doesn't really matter. So now we just gotta find the chance when I can go in with my graveyard. So that is the key. When you can go in with your graveyard, especially now in double elixir, you can get the lightning on the Dark Goblin. If you can't, if you have a tank, you can NATO the Dark Goblin in front as well with the baby D to kill it. So the cannon card was healthy on the right side, so I decided to go in on the right side because that's gonna give me a tank for a longer period of time. And you can see we do very nice damage on the right side there. Even though the left side was we did more damage there initially. Again, we take the lightning value on the 2 troops. That's a good value. And then we'll just have to deal with this princess alone again. So not a problem. So you can see here once double elixir starts, it takes a lot more damage compared to us. And again, we're gonna have good defense here. We can do this. We got the hunter there. No problem. Good splash. Bait is not a problem. As long as you keep your right troops. You don't have to save like bomb tower for this and that. You have a lot of stuff, so you can basically use anything you want as long as you try to save your barrel or your hunter for the most appropriate things. So ideally, that's what I would say. You save your barrel for his goblin barrel, because Skelly barrel you have a lot of other ways to defend. That is the best thing. If you don't have your barrel for his goblin barrel, then the next best thing would be to use a hunter or your tornado. So again, I just went in with the naked graveyard on the right. So we're hoping for some damage, which we do get 200-300 damage from the last few skeletons, and that's good. We just have to be aware of his double barrels. That's a bit harder to defend, the double barrel. So here comes the double barrel, as I mentioned. We go with the NATO down, bomb tower gets a nice shot. We take a bit of damage, no problem. 1 minute of overtime left, triple elixir. That's when we're gonna start going with the graveyard lightning. Okay, again, he's keeping up the pressure. He's really keeping up the pressure. We're really feeling it, but we're always saving our barrels. This time we use it, but we have a baby D. King Tower's activated, no problem. So that's why I say King Tower activation is very important against a bait deck. So look at that, naked graveyard there, no problem. We hope for just some luck on the Skelly chip. We get a bit of that. One skeleton hits it, hunter in the back. We go for the naked lightning on the Dark Goblin, no problem. Because now with 20 seconds left, we just need to get some damage in. He goes with very aggressive princesses, trying to protect all of them. Again, no problem as long as we defend the barrels right. We missed the barrel a little bit, the side barrel, but no problem. Again, 12 seconds left. We're going with the naked graveyard. We just need to get a lightning off at the end just to maintain our lead. The cannon card helps to pull the Skelly barrel back. So that's it, guys. Weird looking deck. I would recommend you guys try it because Supercell doesn't know what kind of a hard counter to give you. So if you guys like it, please give me a like as well for my video, and don't forget to subscribe, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode introducing an off-meta deck. And I'll see you guys sometime again this week with another off-meta deck. Alright, peace out, guys.